Everyone, this is Hybrid 3. Welcome back to another Lorcana video, and we are at CCQ Leicester in the United Kingdom, and we're in the semifinals of the CCQ. The names on the screen are currently incorrect, along with the deck choices. So on the left, we have our player playing Purple Steel, and on the right, our player is playing Dog. So I guess his color is right, but I guess the colors are right now, but the names are wrong. So we'll get the names here in just a minute, but before we dive into the game, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and liked the video, those help the channel out a lot. We really would appreciate it. Yeah, but anyways, let's dive into this game and get this thing going. So yeah, this is a CCQ. So for those of you that are new to the Lorcana scene, this is something that Ravensburger added this year to kind of allow some more competitions to happen, since there's only 3 DLCs per region this year. So this is just a way to add more spots to the continental qualifiers. So if you win this tournament, you get to go to the European qualifiers, because this one's in Europe, obviously. Same thing for North America. So yeah, just a good opportunity for players to play more at Lorcana, which is something I think we can all get behind. We just wish they were all DLCs, right? So anyway, we have an interesting card come out for our Dogs player, the White Rabbit. So it's a card that has a new keyword for this set, that if you're going second, you pay 1 less for it. So that would allow you to play that 2-cost character for 1. And it's a 2/2 evasive, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool card to get down on turn 1. And then he goes into a Lilo on turn 2. And then over on the left side, our Purple Steel player has our Royal Guard and Pocahontas down. And Pocahontas is, again, another new card for this set. Pocahontas has a cool ability where whenever she quests, she gains 1 lore for questing on her own, and then she can gain the lore of any other character that's exerted. So in this situation, she gained the lore of Palace Guard, which is 1, so that means that Pocahontas quested for 2 total, which again just allows you to really add up lore. And then you see that she played that 3-cost Genie as well. And the 3-cost Genie, you can boost every turn, so that means you pay 1 to put a card under it, and for every card that's under it, it gets more lore. So currently it quests for 1, if she boosts it, it's going to go to 2, so on and so forth. And if you're new to Lorcana, you can only boost once per turn per character, so she can't use all 5 ink to put 5 cards under it, right? That would be crazy. But that Pocahontas with the Genie is a really cool combination together that can allow you to quest for a lot in 1 turn. And so anyway, so our Dogs player on the right side of our screen goes down with a Lady to follow up the Lilo and the White Rabbits into a Rhino, which Rhino would lower the willpower of one of the characters on her side of the board, which will be the Palace Guard. And Webby will give +1 to Lilo, which makes her attack for 2. And the White Rabbit will also swing to the Palace Guard. So the 2 attack for both of those will take out the Palace Guard. And since Rhino gave it -1 attack, it didn't do any damage back there. So yeah, great little tempo play for our Dogs player here, to be able to, maintain his large board, which is what a Dogs player wants, right? You want to get that large board so that you can get down your large tramps and just really go for it. And then of course your Purple Steel player is obviously just trying to maintain this board a little bit here, right? So Purple Steel player in a general matchup is usually the aggressor, but in this matchup not as much, right? And now with that Angel that just came down, so it's another new card from this set. So it's once during your turn you may choose and discard a card to deal 2 damage. That's a great card to go against Dogs specifically, because the Angel can just drop a card off and do 2 damage, which just banishes almost every character in the Dogs deck. And you just saw Pocahontas quested and then gain the 2 lore from the Lilo. So that means Pocahontas quested for 3 there based on Lilo, which is so cool. And I imagine in Infinity, Pocahontas is going to see some really interesting plays where if the other players like a Tamatoa on the board, could get some interesting stuff going on. So anyways, which I'll have to I don't know if that's rule legal or how that all works, but imagine if the Tamatoa is hitting for 10 and you Pocahontas and quest and hit for 11. That's crazy. So anyway, our Dogs player shifted the Lady, which allows him to pull 2 cost or less characters out of his discard, which is all that he had in there anyway. So he pulled the White Rabbit and the Lady back out and inked that White Rabbit to play another Lady, and then passes it over. So interesting turn here for our Purple Steel player, because obviously Angel is sitting there, and Angel can hit Webby, Lady, Rhino, and take it out with, interesting. So Yzma comes down. So I think Yzma, Yzma was always one of those tech cards that Purple Steel sometimes went with, sometimes didn't. But because of Angel, I think Yzma is a really, really good card because Angel can just, 2 damage pop whatever it wants, and then Yzma can refill the hand a lot easier. So I don't think the Dogs player is going to have anything to take care of that. And now she's just trying to decide whether she quests with her Pocahontas and Genie, which I imagine she will probably pass here and not quest. But well, if you've watched the channel, you know that if I suggest that a player's going to do something, they probably do the opposite, and that's why they're playing on a stream, and I am talking about the games at home, right? But anyway, she quested up to 10. Which, for a dogs players aren't really trying to attack the board across. Like, that's not what the dog player is trying to do. So questing is, it doesn't feel terrible. And then, like, if the big lady swings into the Genie or the Pocahontas, like, you snipe it with Angel next turn, you're feeling pretty good. So yeah, you can see. So he played the Tramp, and if you don't know what the Tramp does, he gets to draw a card for every character he had on the board, not counting the Tramp, but then he also has to discard the mini cards. So he gets to draw 3 for the Webby, Lady, and Rhino, but then he has to let 3 go, which he just did. Okay, so we're going to see Dahlia Moon casted onto Pocahontas, which gives it -2 attack, and then he gets to draw a card. Go Tamago Ink, and then we'll see Rhino and Webby swing into that Pocahontas, which, because of that Dahlia Moon, both Rhino and Webby get to live. So that's a good play for him. And our Amphia she's top decking, but that Yzma's there, right? She's top decking, but Yzma's there. So Ink Palace Guard, activate the Yzma. Let's see what we get out of this. She's holding her cards in a really great way that we can't see it, unfortunately. Which, is her prerogative. Like, I don't know, our dogs player is like showing the camera every once in a while. But he also might have been on stream a few times before, and that's, has the little stage presence per se. But yeah, let's see what she got from this Yzma draw. Okay, so she got another Angel. That's crazy. So now she could activate both Angels with both cards and snipe that lady, which is what she's going to do. Wow, that's crazy. And then at this point, does she swing? Yeah, so she definitely takes that out, and then Angel will take out the Webby, and Angel has resist because her hand's empty. What a crazy turn. What an absolutely crazy turn for her. And she gets to boost Genie. Man, that's nut. What a nuts turn for her. Like, if you've been playing Lorcana for the past few sets, like, you wouldn't have been sad if Purple Steel was gone. It's been a big piece of the meta for like the last 2 or 3 sets, and I kind of thought this set might be gone forever. But watching her play, watching her play makes me feel like Purple Steel is going to be here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. Like, Purple Steel is not going to be gone anytime soon. All right, so the Yzma gets taken out because the Tramp gave the other Tramp a bit of a boost there. So obviously that was a really important play to get rid of that Yzma so that she can't just continue to fill her hand up. And you saw her last turn. Wow, what a top deck! You saw her last turn get rid of Demona and another Yzma with that Angel play. So you know that she got rid of 2 more of her like card draw engines. So yeah, tough turn, or tough for her that she's lost her card draw now. But the good thing for her is that Angel gets that +2 resist whenever her hand is empty. So nothing on the board for our dogs player can actually do anything about it at this point, which is interesting. All right. Wow. Okay. So he just scoops. That Genie, I think, was the problem there. The Genie was just going to be able to quest for more and more as the boost happened, and those Angels couldn't be taken out by what he had. So yeah, great game by our Amethyst Steel player. We'll let the player shuffle up and get ready for game 2. All right, so we're ready for game 2, and obviously our dogs player gets to go first this time. So he's going to ink a Go-Go Tamago and play a Bobby, gets rid of Chromacon, and then passes it over to our purple still player. And let's see what she does on the draw here. So she also has a nice card that costs 2. It pays one less if you're going second. So I'm not sure if she has that in her hand currently. I think it's Christopher Robin. I think that's what that card is. That she's playing from this new set. It's a 1/3 quest for 2 card. Okay, so she inks Palace Guard, and there is that Christopher Robin, just like I mentioned. So again, just another nice big body that quests for 2 at the beginning of the game. If you're going second, that just allows you as the purple still player to put the pressure on, but also combat the board as a 1/3 body. Like 1/3 is a tough stat line to get rid of early, no matter what you're playing. So our dogs player goes Bobby, which gets rid of a lady into another lady, and passes it back over. So purple still player is obviously falling behind here on tempo, which is expected, right? Like, not surprised. Okay, wow. Well, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So she's able to open up into, double Captain Hooks, which, helps you catch up a little bit, right? Helps you catch up onto the board. So our dogs player goes into a Lilo, inks a Tramp, and passes it back over. So at this point, he can play Big Tramp next turn, which is obviously what, dogs players are trying to get to. So if he has that in hand, that's what I would expect to come down next turn. She inks that Genie, plays a Dock. Wow, that's interesting. The Dock play. She must not have had anything else. Or the ink situation in her hand must be pretty tough currently. Because she obviously had something else. She inked that Genie, but she obviously needed to clean something up in her hand to go ahead and get that Dock down, which of course tells your dog's player like, hey, like she has another Dock. Another Dock is like in her hand somewhere, right? All right, so wow, okay, so he does not have the does not have it yet, right? He doesn't have the Big Tramp. He currently is sitting on 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 Sing power on the board, so he can do Under the Sea next turn. Angel coming down is really important. I don't think she's gonna. I don't know how many cards she has in her hands, but if she has enough, she's got to get rid of that Lilo. Like that Lilo's got to be gone this turn to stop the Under the Sea from being sang. Okay, so Christopher Robin quest. She must have 2 really good cards in her hand. Because yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. Like this is the way that he is set up to play. We're gonna quest with Dock. Okay, and she passes, so she's willing to risk it that he has the Under the Sea. Okay, he doesn't yet, but he's gonna draw through like his whole deck right now with that Tramp. So he gets to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, but obviously he has to discard 5. So there's the 5 he's going to discard. So Mowgli, yeah, a lot of cards, a lot of dogs. Okay, wow, he's gonna go Tramp into another Tramp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he has to pay 1 for that Tramp. It's pretty good value. Pretty good value. And he missed Under the Sea again somehow. That's pretty crazy that he somehow missed it twice. And he's dug through like 12 cards. Wow. I mean, the odds of him grabbing it are pretty good after this, but that feels really bad. I mean, obviously getting Under the Sea doesn't feel good, but like that feels really bad that he missed. He's missed it twice. just like the odds of that happening are so low that it feels bad. But anyway, so he passes it back over. He's not out of the game by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, like that would have just been a massive tempo swing into his favor. But he still has those two big tramps that that Via's going to have a hard time getting rid of. Of course, Angel's still sitting there. I'm curious what was in her. I'm curious what two cards was in her hand that she wasn't willing to use the Angel to like get rid of that Lilo to stop the Under the Sea from happening, because like that's obviously what he was fishing for. So yeah, she's in a weird spot now, right? Like she can obviously clean up the board here a little bit. The Bobby, the Lady, she can use Angel to get rid of the Lilo, which I think she definitely has to do those things. All right, so she gets rid of an Olaf. She's going 5. Okay, for an Elsa onto the Donald Duck. That's really good. And so Donald Duck, I imagine, will not be part of our game anymore. So we'll go Captain Hook into it, and then I don't know. She's got some hard decisions here. So she's gonna get rid of a genie to go ahead and get rid of that Donald Duck with the Angel ability. Okay, so now Angel's ability is gone. Elsa would swing into probably the Lilo, which I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure because I said that it's not going to swing into the Lilo. So we'll go Captain Hook into the Lady, Doc into the Bobby Zamersky, and last but not least, we will see Elsa swing into the Lilo. So hey, I'm like 1 for 4. I'm 1 for 4 on this series of predicting things. Look at me go. But yeah, massive swing of tempo there for a Purple Steel player against the Dogs player. Just massive swing. So we're going to see a Lilo come down pre-turn into a Bobby Zamersky. Again, he's just searching. Under the Sea, still good here. Would still get rid of 3 cards. Would still get rid of Elsa, Captain Hook, and Doc. But still hasn't found it, unfortunately. So we'll see Tramp. The very weird sighting of seeing Tramp swing into things. That doesn't happen very often. And then we'll see Lady come down, Bobby Zamersky quest to go to 4, and then he'll pass it back over to our Purple Steel player. And, this is the hard part about card games sometimes, right? Where it's like the Dogs player has played the matchup perfect here, and the odds of him not finding Under the Sea with those 2 tramps is like very, very minuscule percentage, right? Very, very small. But that's what happens. So anyway, so we see, but our Purple Steel player goes into a dock here, draws 2 cards, which it was pretty obvious that she was sitting on either the dock or like a Yzma or maybe even a Demona there. Just to make sure that she had, or it was obvious that she was holding on some card draw there, right? But yeah, these 2 tramps are a big issue for the Purple Steel player. There's not a lot in the Purple Steel deck to deal with six health characters, unless they're super wide and they can sing Strength, but that's not the board state that Fia is currently in, right? And again, if I'm mispronouncing your name, Fia, I apologize. It could be that could be an L instead of an I. Like I could just be very off. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm not. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you know how to pronounce her name. And definitely, yeah, like I said, hopefully I'm not too far off. But if I am, apologies for sure. All right, so she used Elsa and the Angel to swing into that 1 tramp. And of course, she doesn't have anything in her hand, so Angel has resist 2, so that means that he took no damage off of that challenge onto the tramp. Okay, and then Dogs player just top decks Donald Duck and just throws it down because that's pretty good, and passes it back over. So I think both players are pretty okay with that Donald Duck draw. Okay, we go into a genie. Yeah, so she could boost her Cheshire Cat this turn and move 2 damage off of the Elsa. Okay. Wow. 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 What a top deck there. So top decks the Strings of Raging Fire. We're gonna boost Cheshire Cat, move that 2 damage onto the Bobby Zamersky. Excuse me, and take that out. We're gonna quest with Angel because nothing on his board can actually do damage to Angel at this point, just based on based on the resist. So pretty safe to just go ahead and quest with that character. And at this point, she'll pass it back over, and our Dogs player's in a really tough spot. Top decks Lilo and puts it down. So, I mean, at this point, at least he can play down 2 Lilos every turn from the discard. I mean, obviously, she's going to be able to take it out every turn, but yeah, I mean, this is a bad matchup for the Dogs player, obviously. And we're kind of seeing why here, right? Like, I thought the Dogs player was in a really good spot, double tramps, but like just the missing of that Under the Sea is just continuing to feel bad. I mean, if he draws an Under the Sea right now, it's going to clear the majority of the board for Fia. So still not out of the game. She is at 12, which is pretty good. 13. So she is still obviously in a really good spot, but all right, she passes. Still no Under the Sea, unfortunately, which just feels so sad. Like you can just kind of see it on his face. I think she has game on the board. Oh, tramp. Oh, wow. He still did not find Under the Sea. So that's going to do it. We see the handshake. So that is, wow. I mean, that's feels so bad. Yeah, I mean, he searched. I'd say probably 60% of his deck and didn't see the Under the Sea. Feels really bad. I mean, that's kind of what held him back from being able to win that game. So feels awful, but I mean that's card games for you, right? Like sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't, and sometimes you have it in the middle and you got to figure it out, right? So, anyways, so good game for both players. Obviously that looked worse than it was. Like that game was more of a romp than it. I mean, it seemed like more of a romp than it actually was, just because like that Under the Sea just was not found. Like with 3 tramps drawing like 6 cards each, like we still didn't find it, which is crazy. So anyway, so good game to both players. If you made it this far, appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love, it helps the channel out a lot. Would really appreciate it. We have so many Lorcana tournaments coming up in the near future, so we'd love if you would subscribe, and we're going to be covering all of them, CCQs, DLCs, all the good stuff. Gent's coming up. We have another CCQ this weekend. So love for you to subscribe and just follow on the journey, and we'll see you next time.